Morning, everyone. It's Gary here with your Blue Nose Bulletin for Monday, the 25th of November, 2024. And thank you for joining us once again here on the Fourth Official's YouTube channel and hitting that subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss anything here on the channel. Now, we are joining you today following yet another dismal display by Rangers at the weekend, drawing one each with Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership to leave them now at 11 points off the top of the summit of the Scottish Premiership, and now 8 points behind second placed Aberdeen, who fell to a 2-1 defeat to St Mirren at the weekend. Once again, the display was far from convincing, laboured, dull, passive, really kind of slow first half performance. Not very much happening in terms of creativity. Nadeem Bayrami once again struggling to get involved in the game, playing from the left-hand side with Mohamed Diamondi starting in the number 10 position and contributing very, very little to a first half performance that saw Rangers go in to the break just 1-0 down. Thanks to Sam Dolby's fourth goal in 4 games for Dundee United, a free header in the middle of the 6-yard box. I couldn't believe the amount of space he was awarded by the Rangers defence to head past a helpless Jack Butland in goal, with Robin Propper, John Souttar, the Rangers defence all looking at each other as the big United striker was able to have the freedom of the Ibrox penalty box to head home. Dundee United's really only look at Rangers' goal in the game, but they didn't need really too many looks at Rangers' goal because there was nothing happening the other way, and it meant that they could really use their tactic of frustrating, being in a good shape, bit of time wasting, silly fouls just to break the game up, and Rangers really weren't able to get any sort of momentum, nothing going at all in another turgid first half performance. Two half-time substitutions saw Yanis Hadji and Danilo come on for the yet again ineffective Cyril Dessers and the aforementioned Mohamed Diamandi, and they were able to instigate a little bit more of a attacking threat in the second half. Couldn't really have been much worse, to be perfectly honest, than the first half performance. And Rangers were able to get back on level terms with a lovely goal, actually, from Vaslav Cherny, who once again was the jewel in the crown in terms of the Rangers performance. Lovely 1-2 with Danilo on the edge of the Rangers box. And once again, he was in a position to kind of stroke the ball home, very similar to a similar strike against St Mirren earlier on this season. That's now 7 for the season for the Czech winger. And he very much appears to kind of be the one kind of forward player at the moment that's in a little bit of form. Dundee United goalkeeper Jack Walton would then make it a couple of decent saves towards the end of the game. One from a long range strike from Yanis Hadji, and then he was alert enough to stop Robin Propper with the follow up. And in the dying stages of the game, a strike from the edge of the box from substitute Hamza Igaman was well saved again from the United keeper. But in the end, it was a 1-1 draw. 2 more points dropped. That's now 13 dropped for the season so far in 12 games. And the lack of cutting edge at the top end of the park, whilst not being able to keep the back door closed, is really causing Rangers massive problems just now in these domestic games. And with a tricky fixture list to come, with the likes of Kilmarnock at Ibrox next Wednesday night, followed by visit from Tottenham, a trip to Nice, obviously next time up, and 2 Old Firm games on the horizon in the Premiership's Cup final and the Old Firm game at New Year at Ibrox. Serious questions once again are going to be asked of the new incumbent Rangers board with regards to what happens with the future of the Rangers manager, Philippe Clement. Booze at half time, not a lot said at full time as anger turned to apathy. And that to me is the biggest problem, I think, facing Philippe Clement in this Rangers squad at the moment, is that there just isn't the backing from the stands at the moment. No real belief that this team can turn around and go on a run of 8-9 games in a row where they can get victories. The performances aren't enjoyable. We posted on our Patreon across this weekend about it not being fun anymore, and the delay to the game actually meant a lot of people just didn't bother going. And when the Rangers support gets to that stage, then it makes it very, very difficult for any manager to be able to kind of turn it round. But yesterday, the obligatory WhatsApp messages were going round. There were rumours suggesting that the manager had left under mutual consent and that Alec Ray would be taking the team for the trip to Nice and with the trip to St Johnstone next weekend. Rangers laughing these off, nothing to see, but the fact that the support were talking about it again just suggests that there is work to be done. And when the new board gets announced, we're expecting to get some news on that this week. Malcolm Offord expected to be the new chairman, and Patrick Stewart, ex-Man United executive, expected to be named as the new CEO. One of the first things I think on their entry will be to decide what happens with this management team, because as much as there is a desire, I think, believe from Rangers to not chop and change management every autumn, results on the park at the moment are just nowhere near good enough, and there doesn't appear to be a body of work. And the manager himself stating this in his post-match comments on Saturday, stating that the credit in the bank is beginning to run out. I would suggest that that credit ran out a few months ago, and he's living on borrowed time at the moment from game to game. And all it's going to take, I think, is a couple of really sore results, whether it's in the Europa League or whether it's in these Old Firm games to come. But we all think we know how this story ends, and it's going to take a miraculous turn of events to turn the tide around in the manager's favour, and we'll be back at drawing board again. But I think it's something that this new board, Patrick Stewart and Malcolm Offord and the rest of the board, need to decide what they want to do, whether they want to go and look inwards and speak to investors and get some money to make the change that's required to try and at least salvage something out of the season, which already is petering into a disaster. Rangers closer to 10th place in the league than they are to top of the table at the moment, and that for any manager is unsurvivable. As always, here on the Fourth Official, we will keep you up to date with all things coming across Scottish football, and particularly from a Rangers perspective. A big preview of the Nice game on Thursday to come later on this week. As always, a big thank you to you all for watching here on our free YouTube channel. And if you're struggling for an idea of what to do for your Secret Santa present for friends and loved ones, then you can give a gift of the Fourth Official on Patreon with a yearly membership. Go to www.patreon.com/fourthofficial to sign up. We would be delighted to have you over there. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.